Everyone, welcome back and thank you for watching. If you're new here, my name is Maria and happy Halloween to everybody who celebrates Halloween today. I hope you guys stay safe tonight and please wear your mask and be careful. And if you're not going out, you always have this video to watch. I will be putting all my videos of 2019 and 2020 Halloween DIYs into one, so you can definitely watch this tonight if you don't go out. And if you like it, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you can get notified every time I upload. With that being said, now let's craft. To make the faux wood planks, I will be using this Easter sign. I have been using this recently because it is like the perfect width of a plank. The next thing I will be doing is going over the lines using a tiny brush and black paint. I'm already loving how this sign is turning now, but I decided to distress it a little bit more using this stipple paintbrush and black paint. I distressed all the edges, and then whatever I had left over in the paintbrush, I just distressed the rest of the sign. For the word trick or treat, I will be using this wood sign that I got from Dollar Tree. I am loving how Dollar Tree is coming out with these wood signs. I will be painting the word trick and treat using my black acrylic paint. For the little pumpkins, I will be using this apple barrel acrylic paint in Harvest Orange. This is already looking great. If you wanted, you can just use white paint and paint, but I am going to not paint. I will be using this scrap paper that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I am going to trace the word or, but I am flipping everything backwards so like that I can be able to see it. I then cut it out. To glue the paper, I will be using my glue stick, and I am using this Dollar Tree wood stick, and let me tell you, it does not work as good as my Elmer's glue stick. I think it's just a brand, or maybe it's in my head, but anyways, I did have to go over a couple of times in order for it to stick. Another thing you can use is the Mod Podge. I just personally don't like it because it leaves it shiny, plus I do not know how to use it, so all my stuff comes out bubbly. And oh my gosh, look how cute this trick or treat came out. The last thing I will be doing is gluing trick or treat to my sign using hot glue. You can always add some string to the back so you can hang it to your wall. And this is how it looks. I love how this turned out. For my next DIY, I will be using this cute little sign. This was actually sent by my friend Fanny, and I am going to transform it into a Halloween little decor piece. I am removing the paper. You can always use the back if you wanted to. I just didn't. I don't know. I just removed everything. And the next thing I did was just paint the frame using my Waverly chalk paint in white. I distressed it a little bit just so it can match the first DIY, and I am using a tiny brush with black paint. I will be using the same orange and black buffalo check paper that I used in my first DIY to trace the square. I am going to then cut it out. Once again, I will be using the glue stick to glue the paper to the square. Using these Walmart little sticker letters, I will be adding the abbreviation for October. These stickers have the numbers, so I am using 31, and for the ST, I am going to use a tiny brush and white paint to write it myself. The last thing I will be doing is putting the square back into the frame, and look how cute this turned out. This is a perfect size to decorate a tier tray. I will be using this pumpkin napkin holder. I'm going to paint it all black. Then using the same scrap paper, I'm going to trace the front of the pumpkin and then cut it out. I thought by pressing it down I was gonna be able to get the crease on the paper, but you can't even see them, I guess because they are small. So I did go back and put the paper back on the napkin holder and use a pen, and that is how I got the little holes, because I poked them through. It did leave some little fuzzies, so I did trim those down, and then I used my glue stick to glue the paper. And guess what, I finally found my Elmer's glue stick. I actually took a break from my second DIY to look for it because I had trouble using the Dollar Tree glue stick. Anyways, I did distress it a little bit using black. Using the same Walmart stickers, I am going to put boot going across. And that is it for this little cute planter. I absolutely love how this turned out. It matches the rest of my decor. And for the floral, I did use a mixture of Walmart and Dollar Tree. I will be using these Halloween wood cutouts and these little hats that I got from Dollar Tree. I'm going to start off by removing the tags and gluing these together using hot glue. Since this is a Hocus Pocus sign and I don't have a third witch, I will be making my own using these little hats. I'm going to glue them together, and the bottom hat will be the face of the witch, and I am going to use an extra decor piece that I already had to make the body. To make the body, I will be placing the hat on top of my sign, and then I'm going to start by drawing the little hair. After that, I'm going to draw the coat. Using some scissors, I'm going to cut it out. I will be trimming the hat off, so like that it can make it look more like a face. It kind of did make it look like it had a big old chin, but it was way too big, so I did end up taking it off. Using hot glue, I'm going to glue the headpiece to the body. Before I glue Winifred Sanderson to the rest of her sisters, I am going to paint them using these three colors. I am using a purple, green, and red. I will leave all the names down in the description box. I'm going to start with painting all their dresses, but first I'm going to start with Winifred, and I am using a green color to paint her dress. Sarah's dress is going to be purple, and then Mary's dress is going to be red. The next thing I will be doing is painting their hair, and I'm going to start with her again, and I am going to paint it orange. Sarah's hair is going to be blonde, so I am going to use a yellow. For Mary's hair, I'm going to use black, and since I already have the black out, I'm going to paint their hats. For the faces, I will be using a vanilla color. The next thing I will be doing is transferring this Hocus Pocus, and I got this from Collage. The font name is King Basil. I'm going to flip the paper around and scribble with a pencil, and then turn it back around and start tracing it. And look how clearly you can see this. I just love transferring words. I finally got me a paint marker, so I'm so happy I am using this. It is so much easier to use a paint marker, but you can always use a paintbrush. It just has to be like really tiny. And then I did have to go over this twice so it can be more white. And the next thing I will be doing is just adding her in the back using hot glue. I then went ahead and added some details just here and there using the white marker and a black marker. For the stand, I will be using this long decor sign that I got from Dollar Tree. I did use this in one of my previous videos, so I am going to repaint it using the Waverly chalk paint in white. Once again, I'm going to transfer the words, and I use Collage, and I will leave all the font names down in the description box, but I am going to cut them out so like that I can spread them apart. The next thing I will be doing is scribbling the back and then transferring the words by tracing the letters. I will be going over the letters using a black paint marker. And this is how it looks. The next thing I will be doing is adding the little witches to the stand, and I will be using some Jenga blocks. I felt like the I Smell Children stand was too plain, so I did add some little branches that I took off from this floral. I added one on each side. And I also cut some little pieces and added them to the eyes. And this is how my Hocus Pocus sign turned out. I absolutely love this. Going to use this Dollar Tree Halloween wood decor. I'm going to remove the tags, and then I'm going to remove the little banner. I felt like it was crooked and I wanted it just to center it, so I did remove it. I'm going to start off by painting the pot black. For the leggings, I will be making stripes, so I'm going to start with black first and then I'm going to fill in the rest with orange. As you can see, I did try to use tape, but that didn't work, so I just didn't use anything and I just painted it orange, and then I went back with the black and just fixed it a little bit more. Using the same orange, I'm going to paint the banner. I am also painting the buckles of the shoes using white. I will be adding the word witch with these Walmart stickers, and with the paint marker I added the is in, and I used a paint stick for the stand and added some Jenga blocks to the back. I also added this little cute reefa bow that I already had, and look how cute this little the witches in decor sign turned out. We'll be using this little Dollar Tree house Halloween decor sign in this little mini broken plaque that I got from Michael's. The first thing I will be doing is removing the tag and painting this little cute house using my Waverly chalk paint in white. To make this more old and spooky, I'm going to distress all the edges using black, and since I had the black out, I decided to paint the little plaque. For the word Sanderson's in, I will be using these Dollar Tree stencils, and I'm going to use my white paint marker. For the stand, I will be using a piece of paint stick and I'm going to paint this black. I had some little extra hats, so I did decide to use one of them, and I am also painting this black. Using this Hobby Lobby ribbon, I'm going to make a bow and put it on the hat. And look how cute this little hat turned out with this little cute bow. Now that I have all my pieces together, I'm going to start gluing them. And I'm going to start with the sign. I'm going to glue it in the middle of the hotel or the little house. And the hat, I'm going to glue it at the top. And then I'm going to glue it to the stand using Jenga blocks. I made this little cute broom out of a little tassel and a piece of score stick, and I'm going to add it right there. I am adding this little bat and a spider. This is actually a spider ring. All I did was just put it in there. And that is it for this Sanderson's Inn Hotel. I just love how this turned out. And it was so easy and so inexpensive to make. From Dollar Tree, I picked up 3 of these decorations and this beware sign. I started off by flipping the sign and removing the tag. I am then going to paint it using my acrylic paint in white. I'm going to transfer the words Hocus Pocus. I flipped the paper over and scribbled the back using a pencil. I'm using my black paint marker to trace the words. To give it that farmhouse look, I'm going to use black paint to distress it. Using a tiny brush and black paint, I'm going to fill in the letters. Going to remove the string and the staples. What I'm going to do is sand it using this sandpaper I got from Dollar Tree. I'm going to paint all the hats and legs using my black acrylic paint. I'm going to use this electrical tape because I don't have any paint tape. I'm going to paint my stripe using this golden sunset paint I got from Walmart. I am then going to use my pencil to draw the lines so I can know where the shoe starts. A tiny brush and the golden sunset acrylic paint, I'm going to just draw the little buckle of the shoe. I used my paint marker to draw the buckle. As you can see, my marker wasn't working, so I just used my paintbrush and black paint. Okay, so this next step is optional. I just did it because I had this little ball, little thingies. So what I did, I removed all the yellow ones. After I was done picking all the yellow ones out, I used my glue gun to glue them here and there. For the next hat, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the yellow hat, but this time I'm going to paint it orange. I drew the line and then I'm going to paint the socks orange. I am going to use the leftover tool I had to make some fishnet tights. I just cut 2 squares big enough to where I wrap it around and glue it on the other side. I'm going to glue some mesh tube I already had. This I use it on my other DIY, so I have some extra. I still have a lot. I'm going to glue it right there where the shoe and the sock meet. I am going to also add it to the hat. And again, I'm going to use this tool. I'm going to cut a strip off and then I'm going to tie it to the hat where the orange line's at, and I'm going to make, I didn't make a bow, I just tied it. For my last witch, I didn't have any purple. I really wanted to do purple, so instead I used black and white, even though and for the rest, I really didn't do much. All I did was cut some of the ribbon and use it like knee socks. And at the shoes, all I did was drew the buckle and use these white berries for the tip of the shoes. To connect the hat and the feet, I'm gonna use 21 popsicle sticks. I got these from Dollar Tree. I'm going to repeat the same steps to glue the other two hats and the other 2 feet to the sign. And the last step is just to glue the brooms in the center. In order for me to glue down the 3rd broom, I had to cut the stick and then glue the half of the broom down first and then the other part right on top of the other ones. From Dollar Tree, you want to pick up 3 different sizes of pumpkins. I got a large, medium, and small. I'm going to paint my pumpkin white, so I'm going to remove the stem. You can throw it away or save it, whatever you want to do with it. You won't need it. I am using my Waverly chalk paint in white. What I did was I grabbed a small paintbrush and black paint and I just painted on the dips of the pumpkin. As you can see here, my lines are not even, so what I did to cover that up, I just distressed the pumpkin. Whatever paint was left over in my paintbrush, that's what I used. For the next pumpkin, I really didn't do anything but take off the stem. For my 3rd pumpkin, all I did was take off the stem and the price tag. I'm going to use some of my leftover tulle. I cut a square piece off and I'm going to wrap it around the pumpkin and use a rubber band to tie it at the top. Dollar Tree carries a lot of different things you can use for the base. I just use my spray paint. Using some more tulle so it won't be too plain, I'm going to cut a piece off and stick it inside. You want to cut the piece big enough so you can have some sticking out. Once the first pumpkin was down, I just glued the other pumpkin right on top of the other one. To decorate my topiary, I'm gonna use these spiders I have. These are from Dollar Tree. Okay, so for my next DIY, I'm going to use this sign from Dollar Tree. I'm going to paint the back white using my apple barrel acrylic paint in white. I'm using these poster stickers from Dollar Tree. Instead of transferring the words, I'm just gonna use these. Using a tiny brush and black paint, you want to go over the letters. I wanted the word scary to be dripping down blood, or at least to look like it was. I'm just drawing some squiggly lines down. I'm going to glue this mesh tube around the square. I'm going to add a bow to the corner. This ribbon's from Dollar Tree. For my next DIY, I'm going to reuse these picture frames. I just took off the flowers and I'm going to remove the candle jar that I used. These are 5x7 picture frames. Dollar Tree carries them. I'm going to also use these skeleton garland. I got these at Dollar General. I believe Dollar Tree carries these too. I'm just gonna leave them the same color they were. You can always paint them. I'm adding a small amount of glue to the butt and then a small amount of glue to the head. I'm not gluing the whole skeleton on the frame. For the next skeleton, I want to make it look like he's hanging. So all I did was bend the hands up and glue the little hands. To decorate the picture frame, I'm going to add the pumpkin to the corner. For the other skeletons, I glued one standing up and then I glued one sitting on top of the picture frame. From Dollar Tree, you want to pick up their biggest picture frame they have. I already have one, so I'm going to recycle it and use it. For the back, you want to use a black poster board or a foam board. Mine already came like that. Using my apple barrel paint in white, I'm going to paint the back. In the lines, I had painted a pumpkin face. I didn't like it, so that's why you can see it poking through. After that, I just grabbed my pencil and drew some lines and then went over them with a paint marker. This next step is optional. You can either glue all the flowers to the picture frame, or what I did is I used a string to tie all the flowers together, so like that I can use this picture frame later on when Christmas comes. Ball. I added a small amount of glue so then I can remove it and I can use it for Christmas. So from Dollar Tree, you want to pick up one of these decorative signs, some floral, these clip pumpkins. These skulls are from last year. Dollar Tree has some similar ones. 6 Jenga blocks. I'm gluing 2 together to make 3 of them. I'm gluing them to the bottom of the sign, 1 on each end and 1 in the middle. I'm going to use some of my leftover tulle I used in my last DIY. Using a wire cutter, I'm gonna cut 4 stems off of this mini mum bush. So all I'm doing is putting them here and there. I did not glue them down. I don't think they'll fall off, but if you want, you can glue them down. I didn't because later on for Christmas, I can just switch the flowers to Christmas flowers. My skulls used to be purple, and this pumpkin has little brown dots. All I'm doing is painting them white. I'm using my apple barrel acrylic paint in white. For this next step, I used a different brush. I dipped it in black paint and splattered the black paint all over the pumpkin and the skull. Using this black ribbon I got at Dollar Tree, I'm gonna make a bow. I'm gonna glue it to the center. Using a different brush and black paint, I'm distressing the house to make it look old. Glue the 3 Jenga blocks that weren't painted to the back, and then I'm going to add the house right in front of it so it can stand. Then I'm adding the other Jenga blocks that are painted in black to the front. Using some of the tool I had left still, because I still have a lot, I just cut some little squares and glued it to the back of the windows. All I'm doing here is making a bow out of this ribbon. Using my white paint, I'm going to paint all the inside white, the sides, and the top white. This next step, I'm using a popsicle stick. I'm gonna cut it to the size of the box. I'm going to use this ribbon so it can match the rest of the DIYs I made. All I'm doing here is cutting a piece of it so I can glue it to the popsicle stick. I'm going to glue it to the center of the popsicle stick. Then I'm going to glue the popsicle stick to the box. Okay, then I'm gonna use 2 bats and a piece of string and glue the piece of string to the back of the bat. Then glue the string to the box so the bat can hang. So on my tool, I cut a piece off and making a bow. I'm removing the spider, but I'm going to put it back after I glued down the bow. And that is it. This completes this Halloween DIY shadow box. I got 2 beware signs from Dollar Tree. I am going to remove the tags and paint both signs white using my apple barrel acrylic paint. I didn't have to go over it twice. With just 1 coat, it looks perfectly fine. It actually gives it the perfect color because the brown still kind of peeks through. To give this sign a farmhouse look, I am going to use this extra beware sign to draw 1 line in the middle of each sign. This time, instead of drawing the lines black and distressing it with black paint, I will be using my Waverly chalk paint in Elephant. To distress this, I'm going to switch brushes and use a little bit of paint to dry paint this. After I was finished, the lines were too harsh and too dark, so to tone it down, I decided to sand it. I decided to use this piece I had left from these Halloween decors I used in my last video. I am going to paint this using my black acrylic paint. To give it more texture, I will be distressing this using my Waverly chalk paint in Elephant. For this next step, I recommend you using a strong glue. I will be using my E6000 to glue the signs together. To make the sign stronger and hold better, I will be using these pieces of paint stir sticks I had left over. I really wanted to get rid of them, so I decided to use it. But if you don't have these, of course, you can use popsicle sticks. I also decided to add this paint stir stick to the back, and I added it in the middle because the sign felt a little bit flimsy. After adding that, it didn't. So then I'm going to glue the black piece I painted in the middle. Okay, so for the letters, I use these poster letters I got at Dollar Tree. The reason I'm tracing and painting them is because 1, they're blue and green, and 2, if I use the adhesive poster letters, I would have to buy 3 packs because I need 3 teas. Also because I ran out of ink, so I couldn't transfer them. Depending on what you want your sign to say is what you're gonna need. As you can see, my sign is going to say trick or treat. You don't need tape or glue to hold your letters down in order for you to trace them. Just hold them down real tight with the other hand and it should work. Okay, I will be using my paint marker just because it's easier for me to outline the letters first before I paint them. After I'm done tracing them, I will be filling them in using my black acrylic paint. To decorate my sign, I will be using these window stickers I got from Dollar General and this Mod Podge I got from Dollar Tree. Before I glue them down, I will be placing them in different areas and see which ones I like the most. And then I will be gluing them. From the Dollar Tree Halloween section, I got this skull crane. I am going to paint this using my Waverly chalk paint in white. I got this from Walmart. I'm going to paint everything but the eyes. To decorate my skull, I am going to draw a heart in the middle using a pencil. I am painting the heart red using my Apple Barrel acrylic paint in red apple.
I am painting a flower on the chin.
With this navy acrylic paint, I am going to paint some squiggly lines using a small paintbrush. To decorate, I added different colors of dots around the heart. I drew another line, but this time it was orange. I did it right below the navy blue one. And again, I did it to both sides. Now for the stand for my skull, I'm going to use this gather decor I got from Dollar Tree. I am going to paint it white. I got this stencil from Dollar Tree. I am going to use it to trace Dia de los Muertos. Decorate my stand and skull, I'm going to use these black roses and these black branches I got from Dollar Tree. I am also gonna use some orange mums. For the skull, I'm going to use 3 roses. And this completes my Dia de los Muertos sugar skull.